the lives of innocent mariners, and we will always protect our people.
Fox's Trey Yingst. The judge at former President Trump's defamation damages trial in New York threatens to have him removed for being disruptive. The writer E. Jean Carroll testified about threatening messages she's received since accusing Trump of sexual assault.
Former President Trump claims a lot of that evidence no longer exists.
She deleted and destroyed massive amounts of evidence, and we think that the should be thrown out.
Last May, a jury found him liable for the sexual assault on Carroll.
Fox's Janelle Scott. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1, WSNE.
Live and local. Real Talk starts now.
It is 7:01. Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
And welcome to the Thursday edition of Live and Local Real Talk. We do appreciate y'all tuning in.
One day closer to
and what does that mean?
That means one more day this week.
Oh, yeah. Okay. One more full day this week. I
That's
guess.
right.
I guess that's good. During the work week. But then there's Saturday and Sunday. And then nobody's going to be alive after that because it's going to be frozen. Everybody's going to be freezing to death.
Yeah.
What's that song from Frozen? Oh, don't start.
Let it go. Don't go. Why is
What's wrong?
the National Weather Service thing is down? So
National Weather Service thing is down.
Yes, I can't get my weather pulled up for later.
I'll get it for you. Mine's up. It's
It's
working.
frozen.
Oh, I got it back up finally.
It's frozen.
This is being a charm.
Okay.
Third attempt.
Okay. Well, what's going on in your world?
Just staying busy.
Yeah.
Well, I had a couple of big meetings last night. The county commissioners met and the school board met pretty much at the same time, different locations. Or that's a pretty good chance that
Yeah.
things could go wrong if they met together, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I don't think they normally don't meet on the same night, but these were the school
Because
board of
holiday.
education's meeting was made up from it was supposed to have been last week, but because of the weather, it was canceled.
Mhm.
So it was a makeup meeting, and the commission meeting was moved to Wednesday
Because
because
of
Monday was a holiday. Yeah,
Right.
I just don't know what's going to happen. I understand the commissioners meeting was pretty quiet.
the little fireworks here and there, some arguments between some of the commissioners,
Mm-hmm.
but it was mostly like rezoning stuff. I think
Yeah.
grants, being approved to receive kind of thing.
Yeah.
The one thing that did get addressed was the Trask land deal.
Yes.
And the county attorney was asked by the vice chair to, give an update, and he did. So because there's been a lot of social media innuendo and complaints and whatever by a group. And the attorney explained that when the land was originally purchased, it was always in the contract that they have 4 years to develop it.
Sure.
That's right.
And that's pretty fast, to be honest with you.
I agree. And the county also said he already is paying taxes on the land because someone on social media said he wasn't, and Mr. Trask or the Trask Group or whatever they're called is. They paid $6,000 in taxes last year. So, and then the county attorney also stated that by March they should. I guess part of the deal is he can't start building until he's got commitment from tenants.
Yes. There aren't any empty buildings hanging around.
No. So they claim that by March he'll have an update on. Apparently, he's working to secure tenants, and it's and then the building will commence. But if he does not secure the tenants, he has to pay the actual purchase price to the
That's
county.
Right.
So
That was all part of the deal.
So so for those that are saying nothing's being done, yes, if you'd have paid attention initially, you would have saw that it has 4 years to develop it. So I'm assuming for the next 4 years they're going to complain that nothing's been done. But he's technically already bought the property, so he can do what he wants.
Yep.
County don't own that anymore.
Nope.
Yeah. So you need to pay attention.
So
to
contact
class.
him if y'all want to argue. You contact the Trask Land or whatever. I don't know what they're called. Talk to him. It's out of the county's hands now.
Good luck on that.
Yeah, but that guy's not going to invest in something.
He's not going to talk to you. He's a private citizen. He doesn't need to talk to you. You got nothing to do with it.
But he is like a major builder.
Oh, he's
Yes.
a
I
multi-millionaire
mean, he
type
built
builder.
Mayfair down in Wilmington.
Yeah.
Amongst
Twice.
Yeah,
There's two of them now in Wilmington.
a bunch of other things. He would
Yes.
not have invested in this if he didn't know. Oh,
He knows what he's doing.
correct. Yes. So that's all, pretty much happened.
It's going to be, it's
Then-
Trask Development. That's the name of it, Trask Development. But yeah, you just go on his website and look at what they've done.
We all
Great.
should be happy to have a gentleman like that doing work in Onslow County.
Oh, I agree.
But I think this is just people want to complain to the commissioners, but they sold the land. Y'all complain to the wrong people.
Yeah, it's not yours. It's nice. It
No,
doesn't belong to us.
He owns it.
Yeah.
We're making money off of it right now.
And they put enough, apparently put enough things in place where he has timelines and deadlines. But he's got 4 years. So please find another cause and move
Oh,
on.
was the fact that he had employed a certain number of people?
Yes, there's a certain
Yes.
number of people.
That you
Yeah.
have to employ. If not, then you go back to paying the big bucks again. But yeah,
So,
it was a great contract.
Yep.
yeah. I wonder who
Pretty well
wrote
done.
that thing. That's awesome. Attorneys. And he
Yes.
agreed to it and had his input
Oh, he
as
knows.
well.
He knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that man.
Yeah. So,
He's beyond smart.
And then there was the school board meeting.
Of course.
mhm. Yeah.
Got any input on it or listen to it? Or did anybody go to it? Like to hear from you.
I wasn't able to watch it last night.
For other
you know,
reasons,
for
yes.
other reasons. but-
910-333-0139. Give us a ring at any. We'd love to talk to you today.
Well, I watched a little bit of it. I worked last night, and then I had, I was doing some things with my mom last night. So, but one thing, there was, I think, 9 speakers signed up. And it was brought up that the public comment, one of the school board members wanted clarification that public comment, they could directly address a particular member. The county attorney said, yes, it's nothing in there. It says that it's suggested you don't, but it's not prohibited.
Which I still did not understand.
Oh, we get it. Don't we, Kelly?
I just think it was.
I mean, I don't understand why they allow it.
Yeah, mainly because they can't, well, I guess, I mean, I see both sides, but they can't respond at that moment.
Correct.
But I mean, it's clear, once again, the agenda is still rolling on.
Mhm.
And there was a targeted board member again. And I felt like the board member who asked the question knew in advance.
Lewis Rogers, okay?
Okay, yeah. Knew in advance. You wanted to clarify, so his group,
Minions.
minions, could go up and attack again. I mean, you would think at some point they'd get tired of this, especially because what I hear people say, general public, not people in the political realm, but just general people, they're tired of hearing it, but they're not shedding light on themselves.
Oh, I'm happy for them. Go for it. Except you're taking up too much valuable time.
Well, it was a short meeting
Maybe there
last
should be
night.
a meter out there, like in a taxi cab. When you get up to talk, the meter.
5 minutes.
Yeah, but they're going to be at 5 minutes at a certain amount of money.
Well, let me ask you this.
And we can contribute to the school system that way.
Oh, you mean you want them to pay? to
Yes,
speak?
absolutely.
Oh my.
Well, let me ask this. If there's anybody out there that actually watched the board meeting, you could tell us what positive news came out from the schools about Onslow County schools, how they were doing, because all of that is always overshadowed by all the other drama.
Shout it out.
Yes.
Shout it over.
Yes. And and there's been so many times like Dr. Barnes has gotten up there and told about how wonderful the schools were doing and given us statistics and stuff, but nobody listens to that because there's also,
Well, people like drama.
Dr. Barnes.
yes, Dr. Barnes, he works with the schools.
Oh, okay.
Yes. In fact, we're going to have him on the radio one day.
That'd be good.
Very informative man.
I knew a Dr. Barnes, but he was a doctor.
That was my daughter's baby doctor.
Really?
Make it.
I just got a text from somebody. And see, like I said, I don't watch the news at all.
I'm sorry.
Very rarely. I just don't have time. I had to type a report last night. And apparently someone One got up and was interviewed, I guess.
By
TV
station
12.
after the
Okay,
fact.
I didn't know that. Okay, by TV 12, and they made the statement that nothing is getting done
The
with
person
school
who was
system.
interviewed was who?
Cynthia.
Let's just tell somebody was, we're going to do away with the somebodies. We're going to call them by name.
Yeah, for the
Um,
last year, nothing has been done,
Mhm.
but no specifics were given. What hasn't been done?
Yeah, that's what
Why
I
didn't the
wanna know.
reporter ask any questions about that? What do you mean it's been done? That
I
nothing
would
has
have.
been
I
done?
would have asked.
That's what I do.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
I
how
would have
you
said
know.
what specifically has
Otherwise,
not been done.
here's what I say.
Because innuendo.
Reporter went in there with a script
But-
beforehand
But that's not being a.
to ask.
reporter.
No, it's being a puppet
Uh-huh.
for somebody, whether it's the station or whether it's one of the members of this or all of the members of this group. They are scripted. They're being used. They're just like puppets on a string.
But in journalism at all, but even I would have said what specifically
What are
has
you
not
talking
been
about?
done. Yeah.
Such as,
Yeah.
just two words, such as.
Well, that goes right along with the county commissioner that keeps throwing things around, but never gives.
Says what?
Yeah, so
What is
what's
it,
not
Walter?
being
What are you talking about, Walter? Give me some specifics with evidence.
Oh, well, one thing.
Don't dangle this piece of paper up there and say you got all the evidence.
Well, one thing that I'm hearing is allegedly the county's millions of dollars in debt. What?
With
Be
a
specific.
$53 million fund balance?
Right.
Huh?
Yeah, explain that one. I don't get it
Well,
either.
Every county is in bonds out there,
Mhm.
right? And they're paying them off. Right?
Right.
That's how you build some schools. That's how you do things.
Well, I guess you can consider me in debt too, because I'm still paying off my house.
If you and you owe money on it, you're in debt.
That's right.
If you own a car and you're got a loan on it, you're in debt.
Absolutely.
But are you paying it off? Are you paying for it?
I'm in debt.
I'm in debt right to the dang-do tax office.
Oh, let's not talk taxes.
Don't talk about the taxes. You're gonna make my head hurt. This is way too
We got
early. this morning.
taxes, and then we've got insurance rates going up.
Oh,
Don't
Lord,
forget,
I'm sorry.
Monday's a meeting in Raleigh.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it back on our Facebook this afternoon. The email address that you can send an email to, the physical address that you can go to the meeting, the virtual Zoom link that you can get
Mhm.
on and watch. But you need to make your voices heard. We have 3 county commissioners going to that meeting Monday to speak up for the residents of Onslow
And
County.
the county manager.
And the county managers. You got county manager, you've got Tim Foster, the chairman, you've got Robin Knapp, who is the vice chair, and you've got Paul Buchanan.
We know those are
The
going.
no fact that they are going to that meeting to voice their concerns for the residents of Onslow County.
Mhm.
But look, just voice your opinion. You can do it very easily. Send an email.
That's it.
Send an email. That's all you have to do. Send tonight, type up an email on how that this rate hike that's proposed would harm you.
Mhm.
So
3%, not 42%.
that's right. I know over the last couple of years, my homeowner's insurance went up $3 a year. And with this increase, you're talking like $800. Now, are they going to get that kind of increase?
No,
No,
but
they're
that's
going
just
for the
bargaining
gold.
chips. But
Yes,
they should not
exactly.
get it. If you start throwing things out there like that,
Right.
then that's kind of when
They
you
just
go to
got
buy
a
a
rate
car or a
increase.
boat or anything else.
They got a rate.
Don't lowball people.
That's right. They got a rate increase 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Okay. We're still trying to pay for that one. But yeah, I think it's important that you speak up. And this is the North Carolina Rate Bureau. It's not the insurance
And the rate
commission,
bureau represents nobody but
but
the insurance companies.
companies.
Right.
That's right.
That's
And
it. They
They're
do, not,
about making money.
they do
Yes.
not
Yeah.
represent us.
Right. Well,
Insurance represents
Mhm.
us.
you know, I've been a homeowner for many
Me
years.
too.
I have never, ever, knock on wood, had a claim. So why am I being punished? I'm sorry for the people that have houses on
Because-
got wiped out. That's
Yeah.
tragic. But why am I paying for it?
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Okay, no charges are going to be filed in connection with the death of a pedestrian earlier this week. Police say 45-year-old Eric Lee Fisher was on the right travel lane of US 17 when he was struck by a car that was merging into that lane. Fisher was wearing dark clothing at the time of the wreck, a little after 1:30 in the morning. really dark.
Yes.
The police investigation concluded that the driver of the car was not at fault. Let's take a break. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's your host for Sports Talk tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We'll have our honored guest, the man, the myth, the legend, Brian North, Eastern North Carolina sportscaster extraordinaire. He'll be in to present the award for the prognostication picker to Jerry Allen. And more sports, wall-to-wall sports tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Liberty Mutual presents How to Get Ahead at Work.
It's simple. Just ask for a meeting with your supervisor. While you're discussing the latest sale, just slip into the conversation that you customized your home insurance with Liberty Mutual and saved hundreds. Whoa! The business savvy you showed saving hundreds of dollars on home insurance will have you running seminars on saving money in no time.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com. The survey of new customers who switched and saved. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty. Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk's available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Flatwoods Outfitter of Hubert looks forward to serving out the new year with all your sporting arm needs and personal safety. Located at 111 Second Amendment Lane, Hubert, between Jacksonville and Swansboro, Flatwoods Outfitters is Onslow County's oldest sporting and firearm facility. Flatwoods Outfitter pistol in stock to fit your need, whether for hunting or personal safety. Take advantage of their outdoor shooting range to practice. Learn how to safely operate your firearm, which Flatwoods highly recommends. At Flatwoods, you can sight in your scope to be sure accuracy to Baghdad trophy. They carry all the major brand names of long guns, shotguns, and pistols, as well as ammunition. If you are interested in a concealed weapon permit, Flatwoods Outfitters can assist with that also. Flatwoods Outfitters from Second Amendment Lane, just off Highway 24 in Hubert, where they aim to preserve our hunting heritage, wildlife, and Constitution.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
Wismart and Chappie's Chicken. And for over 50 years, Great Gas and Oil Company has kept our community comfortable year-round with quality heating and cooling products and dependable service. In addition to heating and air conditioning service, Great Gas and Oil Company does generators, tankless water heaters, and quality appliance repair. For service, phone 910-347-38. Locally owned and operated by Jerry and Jeff Allen and Bobby and Louise Williams.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
And we're back. Why would you not want to shop at the best marina in the area if you're a boater or a fisherman? That's the title that the Daily News readers gave Tideline Marine, voting it the best marina in this area. The Tideline team has earned your trust, and you can rest assured that you'll get their absolute best service if you're having issues with your motors. And if you're in the market for a new boat, Tideline has those in stock as well. Perhaps you just need to replace an old motor. It's worn out. It's seen better days. Maybe you're Bart. They've got them. The folks at Tideline will be glad to help you. If you're into fishing, Tideline's Ships Store has lures that the best professional guides in this area use. Pros must bring home the bacon so their customers will keep coming back. Stop in, check out the store, talk with Todd, Elise, or George for some great deals on boats, motors, or trailers. A piece of advice: don't wait for the weather to turn great. That's what most people do. And the chances are that the selection is good as it is right now. Tideline Marine and Family on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. High pressure that built in overnight last night moves offshore later today and will be followed by a weak storm system moving through Friday. Another Arctic blast will follow behind this system this weekend. Offshore today, southwesterly winds 5 to 10 knots, seas 2 to 3, dominant period 9 seconds, sounds and rivers a light chop. Today, if you're going offshore, it is your day.
Don't let Kelly talk.
Hate to do it to everybody. I do.
Tomorrow, westerly winds 15 to 20, increasing to 20 to 25 in the afternoon, gusts up to 30, seas 3 to 5, building to 5 to 7 by the near shore, seas only 2 to 3 feet, but they'll build up to 3 to 5 in the afternoon. Dominant period 5 seconds, sounds and rivers choppy, becoming rough in the afternoon. Saturday, northwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots. Diminishing to 15 to 20 afternoon, gust up to 30 in the morning. Seas 4 to 6 feet. They'll come down to 3 to 4 by the afternoon. Near shore, seas 2 to 4. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon.
So today, 5, calm winds. Tonight, cloudy, low of 40. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 56, and the winds start to increase to about 15 miles an hour starting in the morning, and then they will gust throughout the day at miles an hour. Then it begins. Friday night, clear, which means it's going to be even colder, low of 24 with winds 15 miles an hour and gusts as high as 25. So Friday night is going to be ridiculous. Then on Saturday, it'll be sunny. That's a positive.
Yeah.
The high is 36. That's the high. The polar plunge is going to be freezing. Winds are 13 miles an hour with gusts as high as 20. And Saturday night, Rayford going to break wood out.
I've got it.
It's going to be clear, which once again, guys, that means it's going to be extra cold with a low of 17. And, yeah, it's a yikes. But Wednesday of next week, right now, looks like it's going to be 67. It's going to feel like a heat wave.
I saw that.
It's going to be like
They need
summer.
to,
North Carolina.
They need to postpone that polar plunge till next Wednesday.
I'm telling
North
you.
Carolina, you get all 4 seasons in one day.
Literally in one day.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had that post that you made the other day.
Yes.
Over 3,000 hits on it. I saw it this morning. It was a good one.
It was
I don't know
funny.
who originated that, but it's good.
It was floating about, and
Yeah.
I
I saw
just
it all over Facebook.
yeah, I thought it was funny.
Okay, Kelly.
Oh no, I hate it when you say that. No, go ahead, do it.
Lay back down. Wait for the eyes. Here's what we need to watch, guys. Watch your mouth. It's going to drop open. Her chin is going to be bouncing off the table.
Here we go.
A North Carolina woman has been charged with killing her 10-year-old sister. Yes, guys, I'm looking at her. Happened in Halifax County. That's in northeastern North Carolina. 22-year-old Kenija Bradley is charged with murder. At the home near Enfield to investigate a claim of a missing girl. The mother then told deputies that she found her sister's body in the backyard. The little girl had been stabbed multiple times. Investigators believe the child was stabbed by the home and moved to the backyard. No motive has been made public. Bradley is in jail without benefit of bond, thank God. Bradley's now former boyfriend reported last April that they were driving in Enfield when Bradley suddenly brandished a box cutter and cut him. He managed to get out of his car, and Bradley stole it and drove away. The trial for those charges is set for later this month. At the time of the murder, she was out on domestic 48-hour bond. She's got other charges that include assaulting a law enforcement officer with a weapon back in August of last year.
You gotta be.
She's due in court on those charges in February. She's accused of stabbing 10-year-old sister.
People are crazy.
Crazy mean.
Crazy.
I just.
What do you do with that?
I have suggestions, but I probably should.
My first thought, obviously, you know me, I'm going to suggest a mental evaluation.
Yeah, well,
She
yes.
definitely needs to be evaluated.
Uh-huh.
My question is, okay, I'm a little confused about something though. Mom made a call about a missing girl.
Her missing sister.
Um,
But when the deputies got there, they found her in the backyard with the dead
it
body.
says the little deputies that she found.
Found her in the backyard.
Yeah. Was mom there when this happened?
Mom is the one who did it.
I thought the sister did it.
She is, well, I'm sorry, not mom.
Yeah.
The sister found
Yeah.
her in the
It says
backyard.
it says the mother then told deputies that she found the body in the backyard.
Uh-huh.
So did mom find her in the backyard or did the sister?
I think mom found her in the backyard.
Okay, next question here. Like if I get home, my kid is going to search inside and out.
Yes.
Search and not find her initially.
I don't
I
know.
just have a lot of questions. I'm just curious for my own curiosity.
I don't write these things.
Yeah.
I interpret them. I try to rewrite them from
Yeah.
whatever I find, and there's always missing information.
So, and then my next question is the domestic violence 48-hour
Bond.
who
That
did
means they
she-
keep her in jail for 48 hours.
Correct.
Did they release her?
who was that against?
That was her boyfriend at the time. With a box cutter.
At the time of the murder, she was out on domestic violence 48-hour bond.
Yeah. But last April,
Yeah.
she and her boyfriend at that time
Yeah.
were riding around, cut her and slashed him. He
Yes.
managed to get out of the car, and she
But
took
that
the
was
car and
almost
took
a
off.
year ago, and because it says the trial for these charges is for this month.
Yeah.
Well, that means she would have already been to court over that.
Nope.
No, I mean,
She was arraigned the day after, or usually the day
like
after.
a year ago.
Yeah.
My question is, at the time of the murder, she was out on domestic violence 48-hour bond.
Uh-huh.
Is that the charge from back then?
Yes.
Or so what's a 48-hour bond?
That's where the hope.
So they kept her.
That's
So
where
they
the hold
kept her in 2 days. So they kept her in 2 days,
Yes.
and then let her out. So she bonded out. So this bond is coming out. Okay, I'm tracking now. I got
Okay.
it. I'm
And then
tracking.
in the meantime,
Mhm.
she's accused of assaulting a police officer. I don't know.
In August.
In August.
Wonder what that was about with the weapon.
Yeah.
I mean,
And she was also arrested for simple assault,
Right.
plus assaulting a law enforcement officer, and whatever else it was.
A lot of issues. That's very
that
sad.
trial is coming up in February.
yeah,
So she has issues.
they're going to use all that other stuff against her in this trial, as they should. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is awful. That is absolutely horrific.
Yeah. Of course, her murder trial will be some distance away. Quite
Correct.
some time away.
Yes. Oh yeah, at least a year or
Yeah.
two. The way they're backlogged,
That's the
who
way
knows?
things work.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got a gentleman just walking in the door here.
Yeah. And he's getting settled in. But I want to say, Rayford, real quick, while he's getting
Mhm.
settled in, there's been more. I'm laughing. I thought about you as soon as I saw it.
I didn't do it.
I
was not there.
More EV cars. I'm having trouble in the cold weather. I mean, I want to know if anybody around here. I'm just curious. For those of you that have electric cars
Yeah, but
around
they-
here, first of all, I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
But second, how many of them are having trouble with our cold here? I'd like to know. I'm just curious.
Well, the cold that they're talking about is one that's going to
It's been
zap,
crazy cold,
zap batteries, and you have to run them. You got to run your heater the whole time.
Well, it's also
Full
zapping
blast.
the actual charging station.
Stations are not working either.
They never thought this through, and I think it's great. But anyway,
Well, I told you at the time, our power grid is not capable of it. We do not have the resources yet in place. And like I say, look at the footprint. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 16 gas pumps,
Mhm.
individual pumps at Sam's, right?
Right.
How long does it take you to fill up? 5 minutes or less.
Right.
Unless you
Well,
try to use your
need to go
telephone
this
to.
morning.
I went to get gas. You and I get gas there. And someone was pumping in the one next to me,
Mhm.
and that slowed my pump down. I stood there. I
they
timed
also-
myself 7 minutes.
Well, that's
It's
pretty
crazy.
fast. How long does it take to charge a car?
That's a good question. Yeah, well, I would never have to.
Up to
I
an
will
hour.
never utter the words. I have to charge my car. So
I am not.
I'll
buying
never be
an
able to
electric
tell
car.
you.
I'm waiting till they come out with those little ones that fly in the air like the Jetsons did.
No, I just want a jetpack. I
what I
told y'all. I'm still looking
That's
for
what I
one.
want.
It's
I
older
will,
than it is down
I will
here.
do that before I'll buy an electric vehicle.
But anyway, imagine having enough charging stations at a Sam's
Mhm.
to replace 16 16 gas pumps. It takes up to an hour. You
Yeah.
took 7 minutes. It takes me 3 to 5.
Yeah, I know. Well, normally it does if I don't have people one next to me. Yeah.
Let's see. That's like
Well,
12
they'll have to go
times.
to-
12 times as long to charge your car as it does to fill it up with gas. That means you're going to have 12 times 12 times 16 gas pumps.
Well, they'll have to go back to like they did in the 70s during the gas crisis. If your license plate ends with an E, you get to go Monday, Wednesday, Fridays to charge.
I remember
Odd
that.
Good luck on that.
Tuesday, Thursdays.
But I will say I did get entertained in my 7 minutes by the people fighting at the pump behind me.
gosh.
So that was entertaining. Yeah.
We had
So-
some the other day. They had half the pump shut down the last time I filled up
Right.
for repairs.
Well,
Oh,
this
that
was just a straight up fight between cars. It was
Oh.
awesome.
That's always fun.
Entertaining. Yeah.
There was one woman that she got out. She spent some time looking at her phone, trying to figure out how to make that thing.
I don't do that.
Then
'cause-
she put the nozzle in,
yeah.
and I got a witness, and he does sports talk on Fridays. And she put the nozzle in, and then she hit the thing, and then she went down, sat in her car. She was on the phone, by the way, the whole time. She sat in her car, and I saw the pump cut off. 3 minutes later, she got out of her car, came around and checked it, said, "Oh yeah, it's off now. Hold on, take it out."
Oh my word.
And then she pushed the button to wait for the receipt. Meantime, Chris had already filled up, and then I was gone. I filled up.
It's
Okay.
I don't
We have a guest.
Yes, we do.
We do have a guest.
This is Matt. Is Feehan?
Yeah, down south it's Feehan, and then up north it's Feehan. I'll take either one.
Feehan. Okay.
Or either one.
Yeah.
Matt has
Either or either.
bravely thrown his hat into the political arena, and he is running for North Carolina House of Representatives, District 15.
That's correct.
Okay, Matt, let me introduce you to Kelly. This is Kelly.
Hi, I'm
by-
Kelly. Nice to meet you.
By,
So nice
by-
to meet you.
by
Nice
her
to meet you.
other profession, she's a counselor. You might
Yeah.
need some upper help. And Matt, you're a libertarian.
I am.
So you like, whoa.
I feel like this is a great community, and I'm looking forward to sharing libertarianism values and with the local community. And I'm not too nervous about it. I think this is a great community. Like the people, I've been here before with the military. It's my second stint here in Camp Lejeune, and I just love it here. So I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody.
Good. Where are you from originally?
Oh, originally from New Zealand, believe it or not.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Well, they've got
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
got better weather than we have, I have to say.
yeah, it's pretty wet and chilly down there, but they got great wind. It's a great sailing town. So if anyone's into sailing, that's what I've been doing pretty much my entire life is just teaching sailing. And much like Wilmington, it's there's some great weather, great wind. But yeah, I grew up in Massachusetts,
I knew you were going to say
I
that.
have
Where
family
at in
there.
Massachusetts?
Lexington.
Okay. I have family that live in Boston and Methodial, actually. So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
So what do you do now?
Well, right now I'm a consultant, and I have the bar exam in February 27th, February 28th.
Nice.
So I'm basically full-time studying.
I understand
Yes,
that.
you should.
Yeah.
And nobody ever passes it the first time, do they?
No, it's it's tough. It's a difficult exam, but I'm looking forward to it.
Now, for those that don't know, explain what a libertarian is.
Well, it's not a Republican and it's not a Democrat. So
Correct.
that's the easiest way I can start off.
Yeah.
Is,
I'm one of those.
it's libertarianism is more of a party of principles.
Mhm.
So it's more focused on individualism, and take for instance, like gun rights, for
Mhm.
example. A libertarian perspective on gun rights would be as much freedom as possible for the individual to own firearms, as opposed to more restricted.
Unless they've done something wrong.
Unless they've done something wrong, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that already. Okay. So what made you want to throw your hat into our local, what I would call local political ring?
Well, first off, I think I've seen, just from working with Camp Lejeune so often and with the military, I have an extensive military background, it's that I see a multi-billion-dollar operation going on right within our boundaries here in District 15. And I'm not seeing the extent of that business being translated here to the community as much as it could have. So there's a lot of business being outsourced to South Carolina, to New York, firms in Virginia,
Charlotte.
Sharp, exactly. So it's just it's kind of unfortunate to see that we've got this great potential. We've got so much money and so many things that can get invested back into the community, and for whatever reason, it's not translating. So that's principally why I like to step into the ring.
Okay.
You mentioned firearms up front. We have a whole bunch of Marines out here, and every Marine that I've ever known since the mid '60s has qualified with something called an M16 or its equivalent. Right?
Right.
Who manufactures those?
The M16?
It's Cold Arms.
Okay. So
yeah. Why not go after them? See if you can't get them to relocate to North Carolina from a less than friendly. Move to North Carolina, a friendly gun state where you also got every year a whole bunch of Marines retire and or get out of the Marine Corps. You're already trained.
Yeah, that's right. And we actually just had, I think it was, I'm trying to remember which company it was that just moved their headquarters from
Smith & Wesson.
Smith & Wesson, exactly. They just moved out of Massachusetts. Yes. Unsurprising. It's a smart business.
Took a long time.
If you're in a state that quite literally hates your business, it's probably not a good idea to do business in state. But that's another reason why I feel, North Carolina, there's so many opportunities here for business. And I've seen the expansion on the roads, expansion on the airports. Between the federal government and the state government, there's a lot of opportunity here and a lot of forward planning and thinking locally in Jacksonville we can take advantage of.
You're going up against a man who's been in office and held that office for quite some time, Phil Shepard. We always hear stories, the good stories, the bad stories, people loving, yada, yada, yada. If you're going to seek a position, you generally want to do something better than that individual's doing. And if you're like a boxer, the minute you find a cut over somebody's eye, guess what you target? You target the weak points, right? So what are the weak points here? What can you do that he's not doing?
Well, first off, I'd like to say that I think he's done great for the community. I have a great deal of respect for him. Like you said, he's been leading in the position for, I believe, 11 years.
It might have been more than that. I don't know.
Yeah,
been a while.
He's got a fantastic following, and the community obviously very much loves him. So with that, as far as improvement, so I think a business point that you can just take a third-party look. Anyone, you can be here for 5 minutes or be here for 2 years. It doesn't matter. If you take one look at this place and see, between a 2 mile square area, you see a multi-billion-dollar enterprise, and then you see a not so multi-billion-dollar enterprise. So what's happening? One thing I love about this community is that it's not primarily, I'd say, materialistic-driven community, which I think is great. I think this is a loving, family-oriented Jacksonville. But with that being said, it couldn't hurt to just see some more increase in business, and I'd like to see more. I'd like to see a little bit more hustle and bustle, a little bit more money being put back into the pockets of some of the local residents here.
What are your views on the, around here, one of the things people want to see is an increase in our sales tax, which requires our local representatives to
approve it and recommend
it to the state legislature. What are your thoughts on that? What are your feelings?
Well, as far as the tax code for the state and federal government, but really, I'm here for state, as long as we're doing it in a way that keeps it less complicated, simplifies it, and makes it very easy for everybody to go through that process, then I'm for ensuring that it's simplified essentially. Where we're getting to the cat and mouse game of tax code and trying to chasing the money is where it creates a lot of headache for the average voter or the average taxpayer.
The words that our county commissioners, majority of them, this concept of getting a more chunk of the money for the sales tax, which would require increasing it like a half cent, whatever, half cent or a cent. And reasoning behind it is 60% of the people in this county pay property taxes. 100% pay sales taxes. Whatever they do, whatever they buy, whatever service they get, they charge for it. And it's what some people used to call the fair tax. The fairest tax would be a sales tax, instead of just those who own property footing the bill. if the only other revenue sources that the county has are going to be property tax, some sales tax money coming back to the county, on rate taxes, raising the rate so that 60% would be paying even more.
I don't agree with that.
Once again, some of us are having to pay for others.
So how do you feel tax?
I think the common sense approach to, like you said, avoiding having a disproportionate portion of the community paying a pretty heavy burden for others is not the way we should go. The community has a lot of extremely high percentage of retirees.
Yes.
Folks that have gotten out of the military, they've done their time. They've just an extensive amount of work they put into the military. And they do pay property taxes. And then with the come and go of some of the military PCS units that are coming in and come and then go in, it's pretty common for Camp Lejeune. But again, I don't think it's necessarily fair for the retiree who's done so much for our community, really carrying the load for the tax burden, which again first off, it stifles the property investments, and second, it stifles here in North Carolina.
Sure does.
So yeah, short-term fix, but long-term problems. So yeah, going back to the simplified tax code and something that we can really make sure that we're focused more on the business aspect and less so just the good-hearted retirees have just already done so much for their country.
Okay, let's take a quick break. Pay a couple bills. We have to do that every now and then. You're live at Local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME, WSME971.com, worldwide, and we.
Hey, it's Rick Dees right here. Join me weekdays from 10 till 3 p.m. on your Daily Dees right here on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years. With 2 locations, Richlands and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
In a season of falling temperatures and rising energy bills, your local Bryant professional is always ready, standing by to protect your home's comfort and defend you from uncomfortable areas and the higher energy bills associated with them. Ready to do whatever it takes for your home, your family, and you to be comfortable without breaking the bank. Because temperatures, that's when your local Bryant professional turns up the heat efficiently.
Call Down East Heating and Air Conditioning at 346-4311 and let them keep you comfortable this winter. Down East Heating and Air Conditioning service for over 25 years. Also, Down East can help you with your home guttering needs. Call Down East today at 346-4311.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
Have you gotten your Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WS.
Okay, we're back live on Local Real Talk. Our guest in the studios running for the North Carolina House Seat 15,
15.
Which is currently occupied by Phil Shepard. Been there for 14 years, did
14
you say?
years, 7 terms.
7
So
terms.
it's 14 years.
Okay. And
That's time
Matt
flies.
Finn or Feehan, depends on where you're from.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else there that you could see that needs to be done for this area, for this district?
Well, this might be a little bit provocative, but I think criminal justice reform is on my list as well.
Mhm.
It's an important topic. It's a difficult topic to discuss sometimes because it involves obviously crime. But with that being said, I think there's some improvements that we can make. I've been across the world. I've been across different states in this country. I've seen different approaches to criminal justice. I've seen the heavy-handed approach. I've seen the light-handed approach, and I've worked with different judges, and I've seen that maybe here in this community we could do promote, like our Veterans Treatment Court is a perfect example. I think that's doing great. We have the state just landed some significant grant money for its Veterans Treatment Court, where veterans that meet certain qualifying criteria can jump into the Veterans Treatment Court and then get deferred prosecution. So that would be something I'd like to see more of.
I look at strange stories every day across the state, particularly around here, but did one this morning, a lady, a female, 20 years old. She is accused of stabbing her sister 10 times. Her sister is 10 years old, multiple times. Her sister's 10 years old, dead, charged with murder. Last August, she was arrested for simple assault and assault on a law enforcement officer with a weapon. In April last year, she was driving along with her boyfriend, and she reached in and slashed him with a box cutter. He got out of the car, she stole his car and took off. She's waiting for those separate incidents now, along with this murder charge. We read stories every day about individuals in jail who are released even after they violate their probation or parole. They violate it. At that point in time, you're supposed to, the system is supposed to send you back to serve the rest of your term or whatever the term you were sentenced to. They don't do it. They release them again on probation.
All right.
Time and again. I look up even victims of crime and whatever, that they get into scuffles and whatever. I look up their records because I can do that. And they never serve their full term if they serve any of their terms. And the list of arrests can be this long. And convictions. We're failing somewhere down the line. And everybody who's out on bail, everybody who's out on probation, and everybody who's out on parole, and they commit another crime, they're hurting people like me or you. They're making my insurance rates go up by breaking into something and stealing stuff. What do we do about that? And that's not the fault of the court, by the way. In most cases, the judges sentence them
based on the state guidelines.
Based upon the state guidelines, but then they get to prison, and the prison system is in complete control of them.
Yeah. And the General Assembly is who sets
They set the guidelines.
the guidelines. And I think they need to be overhauled anyway.
That's what you were running for, is the General Assembly.
So
that's where reform needs to take place,
Yeah.
in my personal opinion. And I was a cop for 18 years.
Well, I just think, when we see cases, depending on what the issue is, I think guidelines do need to change, especially, let's say, domestic violence,
And repeat offenders.
child abuse. Some of the things I've seen, I'm scratching my head at, and at these sentences, or especially in child abuse cases. I definitely think our General Assembly, there are things they need to tackle, and changing our sentencing guidelines needs to be top on everyone's list. So, just my opinion.
I'm right there with both of you. I think it's, like I said, it's a difficult thing to talk about because it involves crime and involves victims, and emotionally charged cases very often times when people get really heated about these things from both sides of the aisle, from victims advocates to the folks who are the families who are harmed.
Have you been the victim of a crime?
I have, actually.
Have you been the victim of a crime?
Yes, I have.
Kelly?
Of course.
Everybody has.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much has been. I have been, obviously.
Yep. And I think so. I'll tell you a quick personal story. In Massachusetts, I had a attempted violent break-in to my home, and I was able to prosecute the suspect. The local detectives had let me know that they had been looking for these two individuals for a long time for a string of other related offenses. And then where the whole case fell apart was that I told the district attorney right after this to prosecute this case. And he's like, no, I need your testimony and this is going to happen. And then 1 year goes by, 2 years goes by, 3 years goes by. And then eventually the district attorney didn't have the guts to tell him to his face. So he just had one of his assistants call me and said, we're not going to. And I was like, yeah, I already knew that from the get-go. And even though you had a whole laundry list of detectives and local police department that said this person needs to go away, the district attorney really had too much power in that situation. And I think going back to the reform element from the legislator, making it clear to our voters and making it clear to the constituents that here's where we stand on these issues. Here's where I will represent you as far as the state goes. Is where you want to set these particular boundaries, and respect that.
Yeah, I agree.
Looks like we have a question.
Well, we have to take a break though. It's commercial time.
That's right.
Yep. Caller, you're on the line. Just hold on, and then we'll be right back. You're live and local. Real Talk for 1120 AM WSME.
We've unlocked the vaults, and we're replaying Casey Kasem's American Top 40, the 70s. This week is from January 20th, 19. That's when Barry Manilow was searching somewhere in the night. The Jay Giles Band wanted One Last Kiss. The Rolling Stones were Shattered, and Eric Clapton made some promises. You'll hear those songs and all the top hits from January 20th, 1979, right here on Casey Kasem's American Top 40, the 70s.
Check out Casey Saturday mornings 8 to 11 on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many more at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, where good things cost less, down the street on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. And remember, join Pig Perks and earn 1 point for every dollar spent. How about 10 pounds or more fresh ground chuck, just $2.99 a pound. Boneless ribeye steak, $10.99 a pound. Fresh ground chuck patties, just $4.79 a pound. Whole boneless pork loin, $1.79 a pound. Thick boneless pork chops, just $2.99 a pound. Boneless chicken thighs are only $2.99 a pound. Whole shoulder, cod heart is only $4.59 a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store. And they use only the certified Angus beef and Sanderson's farm chicken. Over in produce, you get a 5-pound bag of russet potatoes, just $2.99 a bag. 3-pack crisp romaine hearts, $2.99 a pack. Granny Smith 100 crisp apples is just $1.79 a pound bag of Yukon Gold potatoes, just $3.99. The 8-ounce size package of sliced or whole mushrooms is just $1.99, and Haas avocados are just 99 cents each. Remember to join Pig Perks and earn $1 spent. And you get 3 6-packs of the 16-ounce size of Pepsi or Mountain Dew for just $12. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, where good things cost less, down the street on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. And remember, say big with the pig.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local Carrier indoor weather team, serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offering commercial cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling needs. Turn to the Carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, since 19. Relax. We're on the way.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, and we're back, and we do have a caller. Good morning. I think I.
Hey, it's Phil.
Hey, Phil. How are you?
Hey, Phil.
Good. I have a couple questions for the gentleman that's in the studio with you.
Yes.
The first question, what do you think about term limits?
Term limits.
Term limits. Well, are we talking about the state or federal level?
All the way around.
All the way around. So, to be honest, I think I'm giving it a lot of thought. I haven't come down hard on a decision yet, but I think there's arguments on both sides for term limits, solid arguments on both sides. But there's some people out there that have been there for too long. I'll just leave it at that. There's certainly some people that need to exit.
But it's up to us to do that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
The next one is about trying to come in buying property and land by bases and everything. You do anything about that?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. So, you may have heard earlier we were talking about the investment in the local community from the base, and obviously, whenever the base does something, for instance, stands up a new military unit or either turns down a military unit, it has a direct effect on the local economy. I'm talking about thousands of Marines, or if we're talking about Army base, we're talking about soldiers or Air Force Base, airmen. But here at the base for Camp Lejeune, I think it's really important not to mess with to tinker around in the property market too much. Will have a direct effect on Marines who are just very often trying to buy their first piece of property. And then two, for folks who have the retirees who have put in their life into the military and are.
I'm talking about China.
Oh, China. Oh, yeah. Well, that's an easy solution, is that between the investments they've made, not just in land and property, but then also for machinery, the list just keeps on growing. There's a list for multiple state and federal agencies. We cannot do business with certain Chinese companies, and that list grows every single month. There's a new firm, a new shell company that pops up on that list that either is trying to buy or manufacture small parts for significant military operations, or whether it's land local to the base. So that is something I would absolutely push back on and actually try and get ahead of, because the federal government and the state government is always 2-3 steps behind when it comes to responding to these different companies that keep popping up. There'll be a new company 1 year, they'll be manufacturing a widget, and then boom, it's into the economy, and then 2-3 years later we find out, oops, that AC that we built, it's 90% built manufactured by China. And then the issue with the Apple Watch, for instance, that had a backdoor programming to share data. So that's something that's a great question. It's something I would 100% push back on.
One of the problems. Go ahead.
The last question is about mental health issues and drug and alcohol abuse.
Yeah, so that's and so are you asking for reform? Something the state legislature should do or shouldn't do?
Yes.
Well, as far as it's a really good question again, because it's something that affects all of us, particularly here in our local community when our stress is very high with the military here in Camp Lejeune. Abuse. I don't think, in my personal opinion, a heavy-handed approach to something that really is a mental health issue, not a criminal issue, is something that we should be. Is how I would handle it. We get people for what is essentially a mental health issue, and we should be investing more into our local mental health resources, whether it be counselors, whether it be drug addiction rehab centers, or and I'm not just from the private industry. There's a significant amount of money that we can drum up in this economy, and one, increase business, but then two, also treat the problem. So yeah, I wouldn't approach it from a criminal standpoint.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your questions.
Thank you, Phil.
Right.
Thanks, Phil.
Appreciate it. Bye. All right, let's take our Fox News break. You're live in local real talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Fox News is now.
WSME, Camp Lejeune. Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. 5 days from the New Hampshire primary, new polls show former President Trump with a 14 to 16 point lead over Nikki Haley there and Ron DeSantis in single digits.
DeSantis moved a majority of his campaign staff to South Carolina, Haley's home state, insisting a loss there will deliver a knockout blow to Haley's campaign, though DeSantis tells Fox he's not skipping New Hampshire.
Fox, Brian Yennis. Pakistan responds to airstrikes by Iran with airstrikes in Iran.
These strikes by Pakistan's Air Force allegedly targeted militant hideouts, much like Iran said after its own airstrikes yesterday. It appears the two countries are targeting separate groups. They accuse the other. State TV says at least 7 people died in Pakistan's attack. Women and 4 children.
Fox with Jonathan Savage. 3 people are electrocuted in Portland, Oregon after getting out of a car hit by a fallen power line and ice storm. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
And Real Talk it is. And we're really talking today with Matt Feehan, or Fionn, a former Marine, prior Marine.
We're going to have him renamed to something else by the time this is over with. We'll just, yeah.
We're so good at chopping names.
Yeah,
Fiend. How about just call it Fiend?
Let's just call him Matt.
We'll call him Matt.
Yeah, there we go. That works.
I like that.
I was prior Army with the White Winter.
Army.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you were.
But I did do some training cross-training with the Marine Corps. I know I have a weird military career. So when I was first down here, I was actually an E. Was on E2, I remember, but I was down here at Camp Lejeune. I'll never forget this old gunnery sergeant with a giant dip in his mouth. You know, just a giant golf ball. You know, if a Coast Guard ever had to do this country is, you know.
He's former Coast Guard.
And I was trying to take it seriously. I was like, hey, I'm trying to do this training. That was fun. I was with the Special Missions Training Center, so that's where I got my first exposure to MOUT, and
nice.
It was fun. I really liked Camp Lejeune.
Yeah, I was at a joint military operation one year. It was called Exotic Dancer, believe it or not. The Marines, it was primarily Marines, but it was all military branches at the time. And in a briefing tent, as you know how those things work, they had members of the media there and a lot of civilians there and members of the military there from all branches. And I'll never forget this Lieutenant Colonel stood up and he said, I know it's been a long day out in the field for you folks out there, and for you civilians, restrooms are out back here if you want to take advantage of them. You can imagine what they were. For you Marines and sailors and coasties out there, the heads are back over here. For you Army folks out there, the latrines are over here. For your Air Force, the potty's in the back. It was funny. That inter-service rivalry sometimes is really funny.
Oh yeah, of course. There's a I had the opportunity to meet here at the base, and right off the bat, I knew he was a fantastic leader, just because the color guard had been standing out there in the sun for hours, and mostly at attention for most of it.
That's awful.
And the first thing this new podium was like, "Hey, at ease, and y'all can step off to the side now." It's like that's a leader.
Yeah,
you know, didn't go up there and start speaking. You know,
got to look after you. You got to look after your troops.
Well, that's good though.
Yeah, it is. I've seen a lot of those guys standing at attention too long and they drop out. Their knees lock up and fall out.
So how can people get in touch with you if they have questions or want to know more about you?
Well, I've got the website, feehan.com, and
nice
I've got
and simple.
Nice and simple. And I've got the phone number out there, the campaign phone number.
Okay.
And I believe I'm searchable on Google now at this point, so you can find me on Google as well. And the email address is mf@mattfeehan.com. So again, nice and simple initials and then name.com.
Feehan.com. Good.
Yeah, we have all that posted on YouTube
right up
and
here.
Facebook for today. So
All right, good. All right. You're going up against a man, like we say, has been in office for 14 years now, 7 terms. And you're a relative newcomer to the area. And some do active duty military, register to vote in this county, or definitely don't vote. Is there anything that could be done to encourage these guys? They're here generally for about, they may be from Nebraska. They may vote for the president in Nebraska, which they can vote for the president here.
Right.
But they don't know anybody else in Nebraska. They don't care about anything else. They haven't been there perhaps in 10 years. What can we do in North Carolina or in Onslow County to convince these active duty military to register to vote in the community where they live?
Well, I think first off, from being in the military, you can't vote. I think there's a misnomer out there where people just might not think or might not fully understand the law with respect to voting. Certainly, you want to remain apolitical in the military.
Absolutely.
And you know, you can't be spouting out your commander in chief, but that doesn't preclude you from voting. So those are, I think sometimes a heavy-handed approach to military and voting kind of dissuades them from being involved in the political process, which is absolutely not true. I mean, they can go vote. And then on top of that, additionally, here I've heard a lot from folks say there's nothing to do here in Jacksonville from the Marines. And that's a chief complaint that I hear from them. And
they haven't gotten out to look there.
They haven't gotten to look do here, especially for those who are interested in anything outdoorsy type, you know, so many great things to do. So I think I'd start there is getting people more involved, because you don't have to go all the way to Charlotte or Raleigh to go experience some fun things to do if you're on the base. We can do here, even in Wilmington as well, but obviously here I'm partial to Jacksonville. We'll be just sharing opportunities or different things you can do, from outdoors activities, things you can do with the family and friends, kids, everything. And then on top of that, again, just trying to remove the stigma of vote. You can still be involved in the process.
Do you think perhaps, and this is just thinking out of the box here, and probably has got some federal law that's against it, why not have a polling place, since Camp Lejeune is part of Jacksonville, it's been annexed by the city of Jacksonville, that and New River Air Station. Do you think having a polling place there and a registration location there would help?
Yeah, I guess that I'd have to look at the law on it, but again, you run the risk of possibly breaching the apolitical aspect of the military. And while I want Marines and sailors to get involved in the political process, I also don't want to get them hammed up with their commands.
Well, I understand that, but like they have politicking and deer polls and stuff like that off base, but not having that, not allowing that, forget that part.
Right.
No campaign signs, nothing else, just a polling place.
Yeah, I wouldn't see anything wrong with that. And I think it's for folks in the military, because I noticed too, as far as rank goes, and you know this, is senior enlisted or senior officers might be doing one thing and then precluding their or encouraging their soldiers not to do the rank spectrum. Where really organizations like the USO could come in and explain some of these things.
Sure. I
think that would be a great impartial third parties to explain, hey, you know, you guys can still vote, or you guys and gals can still vote. You know, I think that's a good idea.
I'm on your website, and I like what you have to say about veterans alternative treatments. For example, you said something that I on this show have several years now, that you talk about how the traditional one-size-fits-all model falls short. Absolutely. As a therapist, I do not agree in one-size-fits-all models of approach for any kind of or substance treatment, for that matter. You have to tailor it to the individual. And I like how you address this on here. That's the only way you're going to make any strides with PTSD and any other depression, anxiety, stress, whatever. You have to have a more holistic, but B, because the answer is not shoving a bunch of pills down somebody's throat and giving them a 9-month supply and fueling addiction, etc. But it is to treat the individual where they are. If you can have 5 individuals in here with some kind of post-traumatic issue, especially from military service, but any witnessing a traumatic event, etc., and all 5 are going to have to be dealt with in a different way. So I really appreciate that you actually are addressing this, and you understand that it's not a one-size-fits-all. And I think that's where we're going to make strides, is when we start looking at it from that perspective.
Yeah, it's a federal issue, unfortunately.
It is.
Because, you know, it's active duty service members then turn into veterans, and the veterans, it's the VA, Department of Affairs, a federal agency, one of the largest federal budgets that we have. It dwarfs most countries' entire GDP. It's just a giant federal agency. But again, from the lobbyist standpoint in DC, I keep seeing all the solution to PTSD. I have the way I can fix all veterans. No, you don't.
No,
you don't.
Doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. And I guess it's a great campaign slogan. You can raise a lot of money for a nonprofit saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as far as just bringing it all the way back down to Jacksonville, we've got people in DC that think they know what's right for Jacksonville veterans. No, with respect, it's a case by case thing.
Here's something very interesting I just found. The Libertarian Party last night. I didn't even know y'all had conventions.
What do you think they do? Just not.
I mean,
they
you
go, I'm
hear
a
about-
libertarian. I'm just not going to get together.
I mean, well, I just looked it up. Right now, we have registered in Onslow County 1,827 libertarians. I never hear about a convention.
But here's the thing: in the general election, anybody of any party can vote. For
Oh yeah,
libertarian.
sure,
Yeah,
sure.
That's
Yeah,
like the
I know
beauty of
that.
it.
But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, you hear about the Republican Party having conventions and the Democratic Party having conventions, and just saw you had a convention last night.
That's good.
Yeah.
Did you have a good turnout?
Yeah, we had a quorum. We met with the local leaders and we got things squared away as far as our local initiatives. We're trying to get more people more involved.
Interesting.
There you go.
Well,
Very interesting.
I think people that go on here and look at your web page,
That's
which
a
is
good
awesome. You
webpage.
talk about free market, and you talk about love, for example, and overreach, etc., which is awesome. And then you talk about gun rights and the rights of every individual and family to protect themselves. All things that matter to people here in Onslow County. So you got it going on. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a great
Thank you.
website.
Yeah.
And of course, gun rights were not put into effect way back when they had that little constitution. Had nothing to do with self-preservation or self-protection or anything
Well,
else.
that was somebody. Yeah.
It was
back
just,
then.
you have a right.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, and it was talked about so much at that time because I'm old enough to have been there and remember it. It was put into place, understood, so that if this government decided to take over back in the 1700s, if this government ever decided to take away the rights of the people will have another solution. That's what it was there for.
Right.
Remains there today for that same purpose.
Exactly, and that's where the textualism approach comes to, as far as analyzing the Constitution, understanding, placing things in context. That's another thing I stand by very strictly, that I don't think the Constitution is a living, breathing document
No,
that
it's not.
changes every week, and with the tides. It certainly is not. It's a codified set of principles that we're to follow and meant to stay on path.
You're not a Republican, you're not a Democrat. There is an individual running for public office at the presidential level who several states have taken it upon themselves to say, you off the ballot, we're not going to allow you, regardless of who it is, whether it's Donald Trump or whether it's Joe Biden or whether it's Matt Feehan. How do you feel about that?
Well, unfortunately, we've got some judiciary, and I think there's some that within the judiciary that have rightly taken a look at their similar situations and just kicked it back and said, not a chance, we're not even here in this case, which is the right thing to do. For some of the there, that's going to have even former President Obama made it abundantly clear this is going to have a blowback effect, which is 100% correct. Is it you're one, you're going to turn him into a martyr, and two, you're going to energize the very people that you don't want to see come out to the polls. So yeah, a twofold mistake, both from a political standpoint, but then also from a legal standpoint. Again, we can't have yesterday the court just heard oral arguments on two combined cases for Chevron, potentially overturning Chevron, which is so great to hear, to depower some of these rogue federal agencies that have relied so heavily to basically regulate through legislation or legislate through regulation. But again, as far as hearing some of the arguments from the judiciary saying that, well, the judiciary is not competent enough really to handle these complex questions. Of course it is. We can't
If they're
depower.
not, then why are they in power?
Then why are they in power? Exactly. No, the judiciary, we need to give it more credit. I think I'm happy to see that there's some justices standing up and putting their foot down for some of these issues, and particularly with this one issue that you mentioned. Yeah, I think some of the Supreme Courts that are refusing to even hear the cases are approaching it in the right way.
Okay. All right. Matt, we appreciate you coming in this morning and being so open.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Interesting
it.
conversation. Thank you.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I cannot vote for you
I know.
because you're not in my district.
No, but I have relatives that are in his district, so they can vote for them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to definitely talk to them.
Well, I think anyone listening this morning would have been very impressed.
Yes, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Good
Yes,
job.
Absolutely.
Very good
Yeah.
job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a break and we'll see you around the bend, I'm sure.
Sounds good.
And I'm sure we'll have you on here again between now and November.
Looking forward to it.
Because that's when the rubber meets the road.
Yes.
So we definitely want to do that. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Worldwide, WSME971.com. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Chris Rainer, host for Sports Talk. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we'll have our honored guest, the man, the myth, the legend, Brian North, Eastern North Carolina sportscaster extraordinaire. He'll be in to present the award for the prognostication, Trey Allen, and more sports, wall-to-wall sports. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. Currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760. When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offer our emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
If you plan to rebuild, remodel, repair, or do cottage or home improvements, Williams Hardware, 3011 B Bridges Street, Morris City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Williams Hardware is your helpful store. Williams Hardware cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill from Williams Hardware. Williams Hardware, 3011 B Bridges Street, Morris City, open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 to 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158.
It's live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
You know, I can't think of one reason, if you're a boat owner or a fisherman or fisher lady, an angler, I guess that's a better term, right? You don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not into that.
I can't think of one reason, if you would like to become one of those folks, that you would not shop at the best marina in the area.
Agreed.
Okay. Why go to the second best? Why the third best? Why not go to the best? Agreed. That's the title that Daily News readers gave Tideline Marine, voting it the best marina in the Tideline team has earned your trust, and you can rest assured that you'll get their absolute best service if you're having issues with your motors or anything else. And if you're in the market for a new boat, or maybe you've never owned a boat, some information at Tideline. Tideline has them in stock right now. Perhaps you just need to replace that old motor on your boat, the one that is smoking out the whole area. Every time you start it up, it's like turning
Like a
turning out.
smokestack.
It looks like a smokestack. Those really old two-stroke motors, especially when it's cold, that's what they do. They kill mosquitoes for miles around.
Oh my!
Every time you start at one. Maybe your boat trailer is falling apart. You've spent so much money on it already, like one gentleman did that we know
Yes.
about, and then it was still useless. The folks at Tideline will be glad to help you. If you're into fishing, Tideline's ship store has lures that the best professional guides in this area use. They shop. Pros have to bring home a fish for their clients. If they go fishing and they pay you a lot of money and you don't put them on some fish, well, they ain't going to come back to see you. That's just the way it works. Want them coming back year after year after year. Stop in Tideline. Check out the store. Talk with Todd, Elise, or George for some great deals on boats, motors, and trailers. One piece of advice, don't wait for great weather. Do it when it's really cold and miserable. Because when it gets really nice, the stock of supplies will be much lower. Because everybody will be shopping, everybody will be buying, and to wait for an order to come in from a boat manufacturer or a manufacturer sometimes can take a long time, a lot longer than you want. Tideline Marine and Family on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. High pressure that built in overnight, it certainly was nice, but it was cold, is moving offshore later today. And will be a weak storm system that Kelly's going to tell us all about moving through tomorrow. Another Arctic blast, which she will tell us about, will follow behind this system over the weekend. Southwesterly winds offshore today, 5 to 10 knots, seas 2 to 3. This is your day if you're going offshore. Dominant period 9 seconds. That means the waves are small and far apart. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Tomorrow, different story. Westerly winds 15 to 20, increasing to 20 to 25 in the afternoon. Gust up to 30. Seas 3 to 4. Oh my goodness gracious. Dominant period 5 seconds. That's pretty close together. Sounds and rivers are choppy, becoming rough in the afternoon. And on Saturday, northwesterly winds 20 to 25. They will come down to 20, gust up to 30 knots in the morning, seas 4 to 6 feet. They'll come down to 3 to 4 in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers are rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon.
Today, sunny, high of 55, and calm winds today, so enjoy that. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 40. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 56, but the winds are going to increase to about 15 miles an hour with gusts as high as 25 miles an hour. Tomorrow night's when the cold really sets in. Clear 24 with 25-mile-an-hour gusts. And on Saturday, goodness gracious, high of only 36. And with winds 13 miles an hour with gusts as high as 20 miles an hour. Saturday night, clear, low of 17. And on Sunday, sunny, high of only 40. And Sunday night, it's going to be 20. So it's still going to be gross. This is a gross
I'm just going to give you the good news. Wednesday, high of 67.
As of now, yes.
I've got a new figure for you, Rayford, as of January 13th.
Okay.
The unaffiliated party leads our voters here in Onslow County by 3,843.
Go unaffils.
Yes. I got looking because I was just really curious to see how many libertarians we had registered. 1,827.
That's growing.
Yes. Green Party, 33.
I don't know what the green is. What do they believe in?
They drink green tea.
That can't be.
Constitutionalist,
I'm gonna look
Constitution
that up.
Party is 0. The No Labels Party, 154.
The unaffiliated folks out there, they're the constitutionalists.
The Democratic Party, they rose a little bit, 24,324. Republican Party, 47,931. And of course, the unaffiliated, 51,774.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Taking over.
Well, got it. I mean, I can run as an unaffiliated individual.
No.
Why?
Well, you can, but
I have to declare.
you have to declare. you have to go through that. Unaffiliated is not actually declared a party.
I understand.
Not like
Okay.
Republicans,
I don't want it
Democrats,
to be a party.
Libertarian.
Well, according to this, the Green Party, because I never knew,
All
is
33 of them.
organized political party principles of green politics, such
Right.
as social justice, environmentalism, and nonviolence. I figured environmentalism stuff had to be
They're
in
running
there.
to be Miss
Right.
America, right? World peace.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed having him on
I
the
did
show.
too.
He
He's-
was
I learned a lot about him.
very
Breath of fresh air.
intelligent young man.
And his website's very informative.
Yes.
So.
Very nice.
Remember the guy we talked about last month that had various explosive devices
Yes.
up there? Well, okay. To get out of jail now. A judge increased his bond this week. If he manages to get out of jail, the judge also added a condition that he not possess any guns, explosives of any kind, or any other. Deputies found him passed out in his car in a parking lot in Washington last month. They found meth, drug paraphernalia, a concealed pistol, and explosive devices. And then when they searched his home, the sheriff's office found pieces of evidence linked to the construction of IEDs. He's a terrorist. He should be declared a terrorist.
Well, I guess this one instant drugs did us a favor, huh?
Yeah, he's out from something. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know why they didn't charge him with driving while impaired. Even in a parking lot, if they find you passed out, there's evidence to show that you got there somehow
Right.
and you were impaired when you got there. If they find you pulled out,
Right.
same thing.
If you're behind the wheel.
If you're
right?
behind the wheel.
I think they changed that years ago, but before they had to see you driving.
Yeah,
but they
not
changed
anymore.
that.
Not for a long, long time.
Speaking of driving, the new temporary DMV office that was to open yesterday
Did not.
did not. They had technical issues. People
Whoops.
stood in line for an hour.
Really?
And they were told the line started at, they were supposed to open at 10, 11 o'clock. They came out into the parking lot and said, sorry, can't open. I don't know that they even open today. Technical issues. And these are
You would
state
think-
employees.
You would have thought they would have had that worked
I was going
out.
to say, did you not work that out ahead of
It's
time?
just the state.
What bumbling boobs. And that's exactly what that is.
I would have been so mad.
It was
had I-
cold yesterday morning.
Yes,
People
it
standing out
was.
there in the cold.
Yes.
Maybe it was too cold for them. to
Hell, we
open
could
up.
have set up a hot chocolate stand
Tell
and
them we
made some
could
money.
make some money.
Oh.
Yeah.
We could sell hot chocolate and donuts. I bet those people were furious.
Oh, yes. Influenza is serious, folks.
Yes, it
Last
is.
week, a record number, 51 North Carolinians died from the flu. 1 week, last week. That was an increase over the week before when 43 died. So far this flu season, 146 North Carolinians have died across the state. Only 50 fewer than died all of last year. The season is far from being over. Most of the victims were 65 or older. Man.
Yeah, but we had back in my home county, Rockingham County, a 37-year-old died of the flu.
Well, they had one lower
Yeah.
grades, lower
Very
ages too.
sad. Yeah.
I did not see any listed below like 17
hmm
in North Carolina last week.
Not last week. No. Yeah.
Even Democrats in the House of Representatives are fed handling of the border crisis. 14 of those Democrats in the House formally rebuked Biden over his border and immigration policies on Wednesday. Lawmakers passed a Republican-led resolution denouncing the Biden administration's open borders policy, condemning the national security and public safety crisis along the southwest border, and they urged President Biden to end his administration's open borders policies. End quote. The bill carries no real weight, but the message is loud and clear, and especially in an election year. Talks are underway between the Senate and White House on a border security compromise in exchange for Republican support. Perhaps the Democrats involved in these negotiations will see the handwriting on the wall. I don't know whether they can read it, but they might see it.
Interesting.
Trump got a little good news yesterday. It might be just temporary, but he got some good news. The Maine Superior Court issued a stay of the Secretary of State's decision to remove former President Trump from the state's Republican Republican primary ballot pending a decision from the U.S. Supreme Court. Trump appealed Maine Secretary of State Sheena Bellows' ruling earlier this month, but the court yesterday said it will not consider the matter until the High Court issues its related case out of Colorado, saying it would be imprudent. I like that word. That means not smart. For the court to rule on it before then. So the Don will have to keep waiting, as will voters across the nation, until a decision by the U.S. Supreme Court. What happens if they just don't decide right away? If you thought about that, say, we're not going to make a decision right away. What happens then? Could the states run amok and remove him? Those who want to? Yeah, it means.
You lose one state, you're going to lose your bid for presidency.
Even though the justices, the Supreme Court justices, have indicated they will deal with this whole mess in an expedited manner, as usual, we will have to wait if they're giving odds in Las Vegas. That's how the Supreme Court's going to do. How would you, if you were to place a bet today, would you bet that the Supreme Court justices will say, no, you cannot take this man's name until he's had his day in court?
That's what I would guess.
Or do you think they will say, yes, there's enough probable cause, enough evidence out there to show that, yes, what he did was insurrection and that he should be removed, or he can be removed? It's up to the states.
Yeah, interesting. Can't wait to see how this plays out before the next thing hits.
You check the clock. What time is it?
It's Miller time.
There you go. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good morning.
We're hanging in here. We're
good.
cold.
It is cold. I just got back home from dropping the little one off, and just very happy to be back inside the house. Let's just say that.
I can understand that. Don't blame you. I'm glad to be in here too.
Yes.
It's balmy 71 degrees here in the studio.
Well, stay warm, and but yeah, it's pretty frigid outside. But that's why we're glad it's all the area sports is happening inside. So,
Yeah.
It's very now it does get a little steamy inside the gym, especially if it's a packed house. But it'd much rather be in a high school basketball gym where it's nice and warm than the frigid temperatures outside.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you there. So what's going on? We've got a ball game tomorrow night. Cardinals do, if I can find the right date again. South Central, that's over in Winterville. That's where we're going to be taking them on tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
And the SMA team will be over there. They're going to play during the halftime, I think. I'm just kidding. No, the radio guys are going to be
This is not the Harlem Globetrotters.
This will be a live broadcast tomorrow night, and the game time is at 7:30.
Yeah, it'll be about 7:30. The girls, there's going to be 4 games. With JV girls, JV boys, then the varsity games, varsity girls, varsity boys, and so I would suspect the varsity girls will actually start around 6:30ish or so, and then the varsity boys will probably start closer to more so 8 or so. Just stay with the radio station, and when the games start, the good guy will be giving the play-by-play and giving Cardinal fans an opportunity to listen in.
Yeah, I misspoke. I said it was at Winterville, but it's not. It's in Jacksonville. It's at the Jacksonville High School tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's at Jacksonville High School, and the teams. I know the Jacksonville boys were coming off a tough loss at White Oak on Monday night, and so they're sitting at 8 wins and 6 losses now, and they're still looking for their first conference victory. They're 0-2 in conference play. Excuse me, but the Jacksonville girls are 11-2, and they've won both their conference games, so they're 2-0 in the conference.
Oh,
so,
good.
It's going to be a little bit of a difficult task for both the Cardinal teams because pretty good in basketball, but it's a really big game for the girls. Both teams are really good, and it'll be interesting to see how the teams do.
Okay. And just for your information, next week on the 23rd at 7:30 North Side, we'll take on the Cardinals, and that's going to also be at the Jacksonville High.
Yep, and it's always a big rivalry. Always pretty special when our 3 big schools, kind of in Jacksonville, White Oak, Jacksonville North Side. Those are all separated by just a few minutes.
Right.
It's always pretty fun whenever these schools get together for some of the bigger sports, and it should be another great atmosphere on Tuesday when the Monarchs come to the gym.
Yeah. So what else we got looking forward to?
Well, we it's hard to believe, but we only have about a month left of the high school basketball regular season. I actually joked with a coach the other day about it that we got the Super Bowl the second Sunday in February.
Yeah, that's close.
And then the next week, high school basketball for a lot of teams could be done. So it's just kind of very interesting. It's very interesting to kind of, if you look at it from that perspective. But excuse me, we got about a month left before the playoffs start, and a lot of these teams, like the Jacksonville teams, are trying to solidify their spot in there, and then maybe make some deep runs. But we got quite a few good teams here. Swansboro boys, White Oak boys basketball, Southwest Onslow girls basketball. So we they're not Onslow County, but East Duplin girls high school basketball is are
Close
doing
enough.
really well. So Carrollton boys. So we have a good handful of teams that have a chance this year.
Good. So anyway, I'm looking forward to it. And instead of one game a week, like a football game every week, we get to see 2 games every week.
Yes.
That used to be
Yeah,
before.
the basketball season, the season itself lasts about the same as the fall season, but it does seem longer because they do play sometimes 3 games a week, but mainly 2 games a week. But it does seem longer. But I believe that we started the spring season, the winter season, a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, and all of a sudden we're in the middle of January. It's, very interesting how time
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Sounds good. Chris, I appreciate it. And thanks for what you guys do as the
Thank
sports
you.
editor of the Jacksonville Daily News. It's always great to read online what you got.
Yes. Great
All right,
stories.
thank you, my friends, and stay warm.
All right. You take care.
Thank you. You too.
Always is picking an individual or two, and he does personal profile stories on
Oh, he has his great stories.
So
great
that's
stories.
always, I like those kinds of stories as well. So it's not just all scores and how the stats and whatever.
Well, all the
Absolutely.
activities of our high schools and the
Kelly had to take a leave, so she's gone.
Yes.
She's got another client, I think.
yes.
And so anyway,
Yes.
she's a busy young lady.
Yes, she is.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about one U.S. representative.
Oh,
My
boy.
God.
You
He
have to-
wants to get rid of the Statue of Liberty.
What?
You're live and local, Real Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
On the next Goddard's Gold, it's a triple spotlight. Dee Dee Sharp, Dusty Springfield, Nancy Sinatra. Big record sellers. Songs like Mashed Potatoes, Have to Say You Love Me, Sugartown, Ride, Wishing and Hoping, These Beats of Love, Jackson, Sharp, Springfield, Sinatra. Next Gold. Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Freedom 97.1 and 1120 a.m. WSME.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads and the online paper is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Great Gas and Oil Company. And of course, Wismart and Chappie's Chicken, located at 4111 Gum Branch Road, right here in Jacksonville. And 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert, has all you need when it comes to convenience for gas, cold beverages, and a great selection for quick pickup essentials. Enjoy fresh, not frozen, delicious meals at Chappie's Chicken, located inside Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road and 633 Sandridge Road. You hurry, get it all. Gas, ice cold beverages, convenience store items, and delicious, fresh, not frozen Chappie's Chicken at Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
You know, I'm not sure how some of the our legislators in Washington, I don't know how they get up there.
Go ahead. Tell his name because I'm going up.
Yeah, he's from Florida. He's a Democrat.
Okay.
Representative Maxwell Frost in the U.S. House. He was blasted yesterday on social media for telling Republicans to pass the Statue of Liberty along with their what he calls bigoted immigration law. A House Oversight and Accountability Committee hearing on immigration discussed the House GOP's Secure the Border bill. Secure the Border Act, the Comprehensive Border Security and Immigration Bill passed back in May. The bill would restrict the asylum process for people crossing the border and require resumed construction on the border wall. The freshman congressman was one of many with the bill, though he also produced a mock bill to remove the Statue of Liberty for Republicans to also pass. My colleagues from the other side of the aisle, let's be honest with immigrants who deserve better than what you're offering. Welcome immigrants if you plan to reject them. If you keep pushing your bigoted H.R. 2 bill that also passed this bill. Really?
I know it probably doesn't say the news story, but what's his reasoning for wanting to remove the Statue of Liberty?
Because he says
he's an idiot.
He says that if you pass this bill, this bill to secure our border,
right,
then you should just remove the. Had nothing to do with it.
Okay, I get what he's saying now. Yeah.
I don't understand what he said, but I get what he's saying.
Well, you pretty much told me all I needed to know when you said he was a freshman.
Yeah.
He's just learning where the
Oh, they're potties for them. They're outside.
Oh my gosh.
Clowns like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we gonna have to take a trip to DC now?
Yeah, I know. I can't do that. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre claimed that President Biden does not insult voters, but he has made insulting remarks to them on several occasions, as a matter of fact. One thing the president does not do is insult voters or American people. That's what she claims. However, Biden has a long history of questionable remarks to voters and members of the media. In December of 2019, as Biden was campaigning for president, he appeared at an tense exchange. I'm not a Republican, one man told Biden at the event. I've got two problems with you. One is you're damn near as old as I am. You're too old. I'm 83, and I know damn well I don't have the mental faculties I did. He went on to the topic of Ukraine, specifically the lucrative job Biden's son Hunter held with natural gas firm Burisma during the Obama administration. On the other hand, he said, you sent your son over there to get a job and work for a gas company where he had no experience in order to get access for the president. You're selling access to the president. No one has ever said that. The claim that Biden sent his son to Ukraine for a job at Burisma is not accurate. The man later told Biden, and on voting for him, Biden said he knew that because he was too old to vote for him. Is this the kind of guy that should be president? This is the kind of guy that he's claiming Donald Trump is and should not be president for that reason.
When you started off with the news story, it started off with him making rude remarks to the news media, et cetera, calling people names. And I was like, well, isn't that a page out of Donald Trump's book?
Absolutely. He's
Maybe we'll
taking a
get him
page.
for copyright.
Yeah.
Just so I'm like, what? The presidency is not like it used to be back in the, I have to keep going back to the Ronald Reagan era, you know, where everyone respect.
Here's one more exchange. Well, then with the same guy now, the
Oh, I can't
83-year-old
wait.
man.
Can't wait.
You've got more questions? Biden said. Well, I tell you what, if you have a problem figuring whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. What?
Yeah, I've heard that one before. I think somebody used the same thing on, yeah.
Biden snapped at a reporter later in 2020 and asked him if he was a junkie after fielding a question about if he had ever taken a cognitive test amid attacks from then President Trump over his mental stamina. No, I haven't taken a test. Why would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got on this program, you take a test whether you're taking cocaine or not. What do you think? Huh? Are you a junkie?
This is what we've got to choose from. I have no clue what I'm going to do. No clue whatsoever.
Then he contacted an auto worker while campaigning in September 2020 and told him he doesn't work for him. And then he called him a horse's patoot. Really?
I think Trump is rubbing off on him. Oh my gosh.
Was caught on a hot mic calling Fox News correspondent Peter Doocy a stupid son of a, you know what?
Once again, a
after he
page
had
out of
asked
Trump's
a question
book.
about inflation.
Oh my gosh.
So, but he's never insulted, according to Corrine, he's never insulted any of the voters or constituents or the Americans. He just doesn't do things like that.
Of course.
How do you get up there and say something like that, knowing full well what has happened? Let's go to Pakistan.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to Pakistan.
Oh, they conducted a series of military strikes early today against insurgents operating in Iran in response to a deadly bombing in the southwestern Pakistani province of Tuesday. The Pakistan Armed Forces completed a series of highly coordinated and specifically targeted precision military strikes against Pakistani terrorists in Iran as part of an intelligence-based operation named Marg-Bar Samachar. That's wherever. That's according to Pakistan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The strikes were described as successful, and they left a number of terrorists. Good riddance.
Wow.
Pakin said the lack of action on its serious concerns caused the folks to kill innocent Pakistanis without consequence. Which ultimately prompted the strikes on Thursday after credible intelligence reports revealed impending large-scale terrorist activities. They were getting ready to go on the warpath, is what I mean.
Have you been keeping up with our governor race in North Carolina?
Nope.
Well, I have.
I know.
And there's been a lot of stories coming out about Mark Robinson.
They're concerning what I've heard,
Yeah.
and I've just really got some concerns about it. I don't think another Republican has a chance, to be honest with you. I know
No,
you'd like to have Falwell there. He just doesn't have the name recognition. Doesn't have the publicity. Can't.
There's just been a lot of crazy
And then
stories. coming
here's
out.
the other thing too. All of these crazy stories are going to do is not going to help Falwell. It's going to help Josh Stein.
Exactly. And see, people don't think about that.
You see, there it's going to be Democrat again.
Well, I
Coming
have to
next
say,
year.
next 4 years. We've only had 4 years out of the last 32 years of
Mhm.
Republican governor, and that was McCrory. But this is really heating up, and I have a special fondness for Mark and his wife Yolanda. I've known them
Yes.
for a while, and but some of these stories tell you. And that's why it's important for people to research and vet your candidates.
Yes.
And let's see what comes out of it and what happens.
I wish Lieutenant Governor Robinson would come on here.
Yes.
And so he can straight if these stories are false.
Right. I mean, we can get him to call in, but
We need to get him to call in.
right. I'll see if I can reach out to his campaign manager and see if I can get him to call in. But yeah, I mean, people are sending me links and texts, and it just, I don't know. But then again, a lot of it's coming from WRAL.
Yeah, they're anti.
They're anti-Robinson. But a lot of interesting news coming out. Just like I said, I don't agree with a lot of things that he may have said and done, but I do have to give him kudos for standing by his beliefs, because you'll see a lot of politicians that that will spend their lifetime before deciding to run with certain issues. There's, this is what I believe and this is what I think should happen, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And then as soon as they start running for office, they know it's not a favorite to other people. And so they start backing down off of, their previous beliefs. So I do have to give Mr. some kudos for sticking to.
Okay. All right, let's take a break. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. You've got time to call. About one more phone call if you want to. I dare you. 910-3339. We'll be right back.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are goods with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. For savings on your homeowner's insurance.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters. And they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only copper protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time, because you're too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand, forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, solid tech, luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. It's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2022 in the flooring, covering, and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering, they're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering, family owned and operated since 1997, with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. When you stand on it, we stand behind it.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want it painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit Southern Touch Painting In Southern Touch Painting, maintenance, power washing, and roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back, and the next few minutes, and then we'll be leaving again. What they call multimedia mogul, Charlemagne the God, is sounding the alarm about the impact the growing migrant crisis working class voters, many of whom are calling into his radio show expressing their outrage, suggesting it could hurt Democrats going into the 2024 election. During an interview with Fox News, Charlemagne was asked to view the issue of immigration as a major factor ahead of November. He said he constantly hears from listeners complaining about the influx of migrants rocking their communities, something he did not hear much about until this past year. So he's thinking that maybe this is probably, and he's a liberal-leaning individual.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I've heard everything from, the gang MS-13 overrunning neighborhood we saw just happen in New York City, where the migrants, they took 2,000 migrants and put them in the school and made the school stay home, made the students stay home and do school via Zoom. We've all said things like that. And yes, do you think that whole mess is going to hurt Biden? Yes, it's going to hurt Biden. When he's got a House bill right now to secure the borders and start building that fence again and have an open border, stop the flow of illegals from coming into this country. We, the people, are tired of these millions, literally millions of individuals eating off of our tables.
Well, I was just looking at, what the number one issue was amongst voters in the 2020 election?
Illegal immigration, the economy. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Well, Biden wanted to make sure, I guess, by opening the borders, that the economy would not be the big issue, so he could do what he wanted to with the economy, which is pretty well sucks.
I will have to say yes. The prices of company living is just ridiculous.
Totally ridiculous. It's gone way up. The price of gas under Biden got up to as high as $4 a gallon, stayed there for quite a while.
Yes,
Now, come election time, it's coming down. I saw one yesterday going through Swansboro, $2.67.
Number one issue in the 2024 election, according to voters, economy.
Which is impacted by illegals coming across the border. We could we could help the economy, because look at the amount of money that the federal government is just, what I was going to say, it's doing something away, taking care of just the border security, putting all of those guards there, Border Patrol, overtime pay, because they cannot stop it. They can't stop it. It's just overrun. Feeding the care.
Oh, yes.
Look at the medical care.
Yep. It's
totally asinine.
Medical care has gone up. We just had a viewer that just crossed over Harkett Crossroads. So they're getting us nice and clear at 11:20 a.m.
Yeah, well, you get us pretty good.
Yes.
No AM. I hear down in Wilmington. Oh, tomorrow we have a couple more fine folks in here.
Right.
Want to share with us?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was my turn. Robert Lefevre. Lefevre, I'm not really sure how to pronounce his name. He's going to be in the studio.
He's running for office.
He is running for office. He is running for Onslow County Board of Education. And
he's
he will
Democrat.
he's a Democrat. And then at 8:05, Dylan Hughes. He is the general manager for the Jacksonville Ospreys. He's going to be in. He's going to come in and give us updates on everything that's going on with the Ospreys, what we can look forward to. I think they've got a website up and running now where you can buy some merch.
Yep.
Go ahead and order your Osprey t-shirt or hat now and be ready for first game of the season.
Get it done before it's too late.
Can't wait for this. This has been in years. We finally have our own team.
Stay warm today. Tonight
Yes.
it's going to be really chilly today. Right now it's 24 degrees.
Right.
It's only going to get up to what, 40 or something today.
No,
36
it's supposed to
today?
get up in the 50s today.
50. Oh, that's right. Today is in the 55, and temperature tonight's going to be much less worse, down in the upper 30s, I think, or low 40s.
Right.
And then tomorrow, pretty much the same thing until tomorrow night.
Right.
There you go.
Yes,
So-
and then Saturday and Kelly can have the polar plunge.
Yes. There you go.
I'll be in bed.
Yeah.
Where it's warm.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. You're live and local.
Yes.
Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. And that at 10 o'clock this morning, we got another dose of our Daily D's with Rick D's in the house. And at 3 o'clock this afternoon, Rick is going to hand it off to one and only
That's right.
the man,
He's our celebrity.
Hollywood man.
That's right.
We'll see you in the morning, 22 hours. You know where to be. We'll see you then. Have a good rest of your day.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jackson.